Venezuela flies jets over U.S. naval vessels again?
Well, I would say they're going to be in trouble. General, if they do that, you have a choice of doing anything you want, okay?
The government of the United States of America must abandon its plan for a violent regime change in Venezuela. If Venezuela were to be attacked in any way, we would enter a stage of armed struggle.
Jets over U.S. naval vessels again?
Well, I would say they're going to be in trouble. We'll let them know about that. We heard that happen, but it wasn't really over, not like they described. I would say, General, if they do that, you have a choice of doing anything you want, okay? If they fly in a dangerous position, I would say that you can, you or your captains can make the decision as to what they want to do.
If Venezuela were to be attacked in any way, we would enter a stage of armed struggle planned and organized by the entire people against the aggression, whether local, regional, or national. We would enter a stage of armed struggle in defense of peace, territorial integrity, sovereignty, and our people. Mr. President, Donald Trump, thanks to the plan we have, President, cocaine is produced entirely here, in Colombia, and it has been produced by the allies of the United States. Alvaro Uribe Vélez, Yvonne Duque, who were the heirs, the cubs of Pablo Escobar Gaviria. Everything I am saying is in the classified documents of the United States. The country that the Secretary of State visited yesterday. That man, Daniel Noboa, President of Ecuador, is the owner of companies and a multimillionaire, and it has been proven that his companies are used for drug trafficking. That is the truth. 8% of the drugs leave through La Guajira in Colombia, and only 5% attempt to pass through Venezuela. Venezuela is not a relevant country when it comes to drug trafficking or in any related matters. So this lie is as crude and false as the claim that Iraq had weapons of mass destruction. It is a lie. Venezuela, as stated in the United Nations report, is not a relevant country in drug trafficking, so it is not true. Hopefully, someone sensible, who can reach President Trump, will give him these figures. I have them here, and I am going to send them to President Trump, because I have said this many times. I respect him. We have had and still have differences, Trump and I. But none of the differences we have, had and still have can lead to a high-impact military conflict, to violence in South America and our America. None. The government of the United States of America must abandon its plan for a violent regime change in Venezuela and throughout Latin America and the Caribbean, and respect the sovereignty, the right to peace, and the independence of our countries, heroically won by our liberators, men and women alike. The era of conspiracies, threats, coups d'état, and interventions cannot return to the Caribbean nor to South America. Those seas of the Caribbean belong to us because we earned them. Those seas once belonged to the European empires, and those seas, in justice, are the property of their only rightful owner. The Caribbean seas, under Venezuelan jurisdiction, belong to the people of Venezuela and not to the Yankee Empire nor to any rapacious and criminal empire that might exist. I want to thank the countries of the Community of Latin American and Caribbean States, CELAC, for the forceful communiqué, the statement they have issued rejecting the military threats in the Caribbean, the United States military presence in the Caribbean, and supporting the people of Venezuela in their right to coexistence, to peace. It is truly a communiqué that sets the tone for the world's reaction.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that look, you will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest news makers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the U.S. will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry guards.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Deep dive into burning issues.
It's often said DRC could be the richest country in the whole world. It's because of what sits underneath.
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HD videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.